Welcome to Kranky Live Sports Talk, where passion meets action.
Hey sports fans, I am Kranky, and this is the Kranky Live Sports Talk, the podcast where we dive deep into the hottest topics, the biggest games, and the most controversial moments in sports.
Whether it's football, basketball, track and field, cricket, or soccer, we've got you covered with expert analysis, insider interviews, and unfiltered opinions.
Join me as I chat with the biggest names in sports, get exclusive insights and stories you won't hear anywhere else.
Kranky Live Sports Talk is where you can hear the real talk, the hard-hitting questions, and the hottest takes.
So, if you're a true sports fanatic, you don't want to miss out? Subscribe now to the Kranky Live Sports Talk on YouTube and hit that bell icon to never miss an episode.
Kranky Live Sports Talk, where sports come alive. Subscribe today.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Can you guys hear me? Ross, Shushen, let me know if you can hear me. Trying to make sure my sound is working here. I have a bit of an enhanced setup, so I want to make sure everything is connected and linking. All right, bless up. Good evening. Thanks for joining. I had to push the time back a little bit because my contractor turned up a little bit later than I thought, and he had some stuff to do. So to make sure that he got out of here before I started my show, to make sure it's uninterrupted. Christine, good evening, and thanks for joining. Quite a bit to talk about, as you see from the thumbnail. It's mainly about the Olympics. We'll sort of regurgitate what transpired there, talk about some of the highlight events, talk about how well it went. And subsequent to that, we'll talk about Jamaica's performance and the reason as to why on the track we didn't perform well. Because we did really well in the field events, actually, probably better than we actually thought we would. And that's where we had our only gold medal. But I think it's good to sort of revisit all the highlights of what transpired, talk a little bit about some of the activities. And if we have time subsequent to talking about the Olympics, we either will touch upon some EPL or some traditional JFF stuff. You know how that goes. If we don't talk about JFF, we're not in a good place. But before we start all of that, actually, something I want to talk about a little bit. I was on Minz's channel the other day, and there was a person who came on the channel and was very disrespectful to me, actually. So let me say this, a couple of things. I started my YouTube channel because I love engaging with people. I love the back and forth. I love talking sports. I just love talking topics in general. And that's why I started my Balanced View channel. But I love talking sports. And also, I love the camaraderie that it brings. I love the engagement that it brings. I love the dialogue that it brings. And we can challenge each other, right? But it should be with mutual respect. And there are a number of instances where people have different opinions, and we sometimes need to take it personal. Now, you can get emotive in your discussion, and I know I do, because it's just part of my nature. But the respect should always be there. And why am I focused on this? So I was on JD's channel, IMAX Sports, maybe sometime last week. And I'm going to call names, actually, because I think it's important. And Chris Smith was on the channel. Now, Chris Smith used to be on my channel. And Chris Smith is a person who is extremely negative. I'll say that. Has good perspective, know the players, but very negative. So we had a situation on Manning's channel where he said that Hey, Minzy, I'm going over something here, which you may or may not like, but it's okay. I like it. I have the same setup, by the way. Um,
Check. Yeah, hear me?
yeah, man. Yeah.
Okay.
I have the same setup I have. It may I copy it. I was thinking about it for a while. I changed my stand. I have your stand, but you can't see me like how you can see yours. So Chris Smith said, I don't want to criticize someone like Lowe because I'm now friends with the players. And that's why I think Lowe is a good footballer. So I don't want to criticize him, right? And this is important to bring up. And I said, look, I have my own perspective on players and their ability. I'm going to critique who I want to critique when I want to critique them. That's not your business. Why are you telling me who I should critique from not critique? He also said, I don't call out my friends when they do false signature or something of that nature. And he's been saying that for a number of times. And I said, look, and I didn't approach him directly. I said, look, I don't call out my friends in public domains. Then you're not a friend. If I have a problem with a friend, I call a friend to my plannings. I don't call them out in public because it's inappropriate to do that. Then you're not the person's friend. And here's a perfect example of that. Charles Barkley and Michael Johnson were friends for years. He went on TNT and said, the reason why Jordan does win because he surrounded himself with yes men. You know what Jordan did? He cut him off permanently. He could have called Jordan and tell him the same thing. He said, well, I'm doing my job. No, that's not your job to go out in public and disrespect your friend. And you don't give him a chance to engage and say, you know what? I'm going to talk about this and how you manage your language. And the reason why I bring this up because it's very important. Now, as I said to Chris, I don't talk. If I have something with my friend, I'm going to call them. If I have something with Minzy, I'm going to call Minzy and say, look, Minzy, XYZ. I'm not coming to you guys and broadcast my engagement with Minzy or try to bash Minzy in public. It's inappropriate. And the last one I'm going to make it with this. I'm going to play something. And Minzy, I got this from your channel. So if you're okay with this, because this is another person who disrespect me. So I was on a channel with Manning's Man, and I was on there with Rudolph Speed. And I was very passionate about the whole quota thing, which you guys know I'm perturbed about. And I got off the channel, and I got like 4 or 5, a little bit afterward, people, they sent me a clip, I can't find the clip. They call me, this person is bashing you, basically saying you should leave Jamaica football, leave with football alone, as if I'm not a Jamaica citizen, and went just off really bad. And the other day, and I said, okay, you know what? I listened to the whole thing. I said, I'm going to terminate this relationship, just like what Jordan did with Barkley. So I terminate the relationship. The person come like on Minzy's channel, this is what he did. I'm going to play it. And you guys tell me if you can hear it. And make sure this thing is set up. Because it's important, people, that when you come to these forums, we exercise respect for each other. Because if you don't respect me, then as far as I'm concerned, you're done. I'm not engaging you. So you can hear this, people. Am I playing the right one? No, I'm playing the wrong one, people. Sorry. Let me find the right one. Because somebody said this to me. Okay, here it is.
Me not hear nothing.
Yeah, man. You guys can't hear that? There's no sound? What the hell is happening? Oh, I know what happened. Sorry. I'm always forgetting to do this. All right, give me 2 seconds. All right. I'm always forgetting to do this when I come in, you know. Okay, then play it.
Just hear your mic pick up.
Tell your co-host them to put on them pants and stop feminine. I'm not cladding it. You can't move me, Look at the video, the best video you ever have for your channel, but you can't move me, cranky mentality. That me I say, me not have nothing personal, me just a talk how it go. You're small.
Hold on, how are you on Kranky?
Kranky, me go for one channel and tell chances that the left with football, Kranky are quite feminine and black me. We can't, when you go over there to support the channel, we can't support the channel, Kranky, black me, Kranky, move to what the best video you ever have on the channel. Because we say you have to left with football. So what I'm doing you over here and discuss people. Why can't we discuss you, mate?
You know, look at Kranky are going to say, you know, so.
Him not need to answer because I don't need to talk to feminine men.
No, yeah, move it too far now, Gunners boss. Big and serious.
Me done this up.
Yeah, man,
Me done this up. cut out that piece, but me not apology.
No, man, you can't. I big disrespect that, you know.
I mean, then people don't disrespect me.
No, but no, nobody now disrespect you, that. Hold on.
We don't buy permission and go around and take it off. We don't go around and talk. We don't call your phone and talk secret. We just know me just say.
No, but you can't do that. You can't this man like that. Gunners boss. We not accept them thing upon the show.
All right then.
You see me answer? If you want to call Kranky, call him one way on the coast on the top. But me not gonna give a medium for do that.
No man, when we don't talk about me tell Kranky when we have to tell him to talk no. And him here. So anything we have to say him no happy say because he can't have nothing to say. Because when the foolishness is happening at sport, him sit down and say, I am not gonna.
Alright, Gunners boss. No man, I'm not sports here talk, man. You discuss Kranky, man, and the man there and the man ignore. So we have to go cut out the call of Gunners boss.
Yeah, man.
Whatever you and Kranky have, we have to go work that out.
Kranky to take off him dress and be a man. And stop discuss
So people, here's what I'm saying, people, which is we if you start calling people feminine names and negative names, which is not warranted, that's not okay, people. Even me and some have something, we're not gonna disrespect them really. Right? There's no need for it. Now, my normal way to respond to the people, as Channel Sharp said, when you go low, me go low. And when you go lower than that, me go to the basement. So me stop operating now. But there's sometimes which you gotta change what you do and how you do it. I have terminated the relationship. We're not having any more conversation with this person. We're done. History. Never. That's how I operate in my life sometimes. You get opportunities, you get allowances, but if you pass certain if there's certain degrees and you pass them, you gotta go. So that's all I say about that. So people, I've said this on my channel a number of times. Respect is an imperative. Respect is important. Respect each other. We can't disagree all the time. Can't even get low when we disagree. But you take it to a certain level, then we're not having any conversation. So this person can stew all them wants to. Me done, me move on. In that same video, if you look at my face, you can't see it because it was verbal. I was busy doing something else. I was done. So anyway, we're done with that. Coach, bless up. We're going to talk Olympics. We're going to talk Olympics and Olympics recap. I have a lot of pictures, Coach. How are you doing? Can't hear you. Can't hear me.
Yeah, man, me here. I'm doing well enough, Kranky. Big up yourself, you know.
Well, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm match at the place pan Olympics, you know. I try to catch some of your win, but it go over my head sometimes. Couldn't even catch a win. couldn't catch a win at all. So I've been doing a lot of reading on the Olympics, right? As to post-mortem that people have done. And to my surprise, it was much more positive and negative, right? So they talk about the historic venues that were involved, with the Eiffel Tower, Stade de France. They talk about the sustainability focus that was about, you know, a lot of green, recycled stuff, trying to stay out of the whole pollution situation. They talked about the record-breaking performances that took place, and we've seen some of them, whether it's in the pole vault or in the 40-meter hurdles. Talked about sports that debut, including breakdancing, and people. Australia said a breakdancer to the Olympics. Why am I tell you? I don't know what people are doing in life. You know?
Kranky, me sure know you could have got that.
She's supposed to be a doctor of cultural affairs or something. And I have it. I was gonna play it, but I forgot to put it up.
You know, sir, me clip up, me cut that clip there and put it on my TikTok. I said that I forgot the man.
You know, you know what? I may have it in a people. Even though I'm saying we can't find it. I may have. I thought it was the. Why do people do that? I don't understand why people do that. You know what? I have it, people. Let me see if I can pull it up. Because some things should just stay.
Hold on, Kranky, don't put it up. It look like it have copyright on it now.
It does?
Yeah.
Where I get it from was TikTok or one of those places. Anyway.
Yeah, man, but even TikTok them restrict it.
I didn't know that they did that. So thanks for saving me doing that.
Yeah,
but it was funny. It was funny. And then there was one. Somebody sent me that video with another video, which is why nepotism, where nepotism is blatant, and where people make selections not based on based on meritocracy of people's performance. It was the niece of maybe the president of Somalia or something in a 100 meters race, and she ran the slowest time ever in a 100 meters race in an official event forgot what I mean. She didn't jog. I think she walked 100 meters. But anyway, it was really funny actually. So we're gonna go through the events actually that transpired, and have some dialogue about some of these events. And there are a number of them. Now I'm not gonna touch something like swimming and water polo. I'm just do the main ones. First, basketball, which was interesting actually. So if you look at the basketball and the fact that the U.S. Both the U.S. men's and women's team actually won. But I think what's really interesting actually wasn't that they just won, it was the quality of the games and the level of the competition and the fact that they could have lost both games, frankly. So if you look at the games, the U.S. beat France in the final 98-87. But when they played Serbia, frankly, to me, Serbia should have won that game. And I think, I wasn't going to say Serbia was cheated, but I think the referee made a mistake. U.S. was down by about 11. They came down. Kevin Durant had the ball. Joker fouled Anthony Davis. And Durant scored the basket almost simultaneously. If you look at the play very closely in slow motion, because my nephew and I slowed it down, the foul occurred before the shot was taken. So they got 3 points, the ball out of bounds, they got the ball back, Booker hit a 3, 5-point game over basically. I think the U.S. should have lost that game. And they had all their stars people, which showed that the rest of the world is catching up. The women's team beat France by 1 in the final, 67-66, which is also a very, very close game. So I think the moral of the story is that there's about 35% non-U.S. players in the NBA, and the world is catching up. Did you watch any of those sports, Coach, apart from track and field, Coach?
Yeah, I didn't follow the basketball right through it. I watched a few games though.
Okay. Now I thought that game was really, really interesting.
But I didn't watch that one you in questioning right now.
Right. And then we have what I would be deemed to be one of the most iconic performers in Olympic history, in Simone Biles. And she's so great, I couldn't put up one picture. I had to put up like multiple pictures showing her doing different things. Obviously, she has her medal, but she won 3 gold medals. Team event, all around, and the vault. Shocked she lost the floor because she always been on the floor. I think she stepped out of bounds, right? In the 3 Olympics she has participated in, she has 7 gold medals of those 3 events. So she's the GOAT of that. And really, really wonderful performer who have been doing phenomenally well. If you remember, she went home from Tokyo because of mental issues, right? She was in Tokyo, went home with mental issues, and to come back from that shows you that, you know what? Mental issue is an issue for people, should be taken seriously, but if you give them the right treatment, you can recover. So DC said, French security did many of the players wrong, so their comment was that in 1 point lost the US. Yeah, I don't know if it's French security, but yeah, these things happen. I mean, you're not going to have, things are not always going to be perfect, right? Things are not always going to be perfect. And we know this. So I'm going to go to track and field now. And I will go through some of these because I think it's important us to go through these. And then we'll talk about... Did
you watch the 3-on-3 basketball?
I did watch some of it, but I didn't watch the finals of it. I did watch some of it.
Did you watch the sailing?
No.
Okay. That was a very interesting one. I saw some very interesting in sports. But this Olympic for me though, it's not like the ones of old.
Yeah, it's different, right?
All the synchronized. I watched some synchronized swimming. I watched some diving, but normally I would be delved into it so much, deep rooted into it, that I could tell you the athletes and all of these things and what I saw, what got me excited. I just pretty much glimpsed over them. The interest, I don't know what happened with this Olympic, but the interest,
maybe it's because you probably focus on a lot of the other events, because there were a lot of, some events clashed, right? Quite a few events clashed between track and field when it was set up and some of these other events. I watched some football. Obviously, Spain won the men.
Yeah.
Spain won again, by the way.
Wow,
Spain has now
that's
won.
incredible.
Spain has won the Women's World Cup 2023, the Euros senior men,
And now
the
the
under
Olympic
19
gold.
competition, and now the Olympics. And you hear me being tooting my on for a Spain coach forever. There's a reason. And if you go into EPL, they have about 6 or so Spanish coach in the EPL, which is an English league. So, but we'll talk about that another day. So I have my two interesting parties on the screen. One is Mr. Lyle, and if you see my thumbnail, you know I showed Noah lying down, right, spread out like he passed out. Jura said, "I'm not getting a Spanish coach not in my lifetime." No, we have an English one, and I think that's what it's going to be. So look, I think Noah did brilliant in the 100, and I think the Jamaicans are still trying to recover from and saying Kishane was cheated. I don't think he was cheated. What were your thoughts on that, coach? Because we saw something coming from Sports DTM, and I have to call them because they were not public with it, where they weren't to Meta to give guidance about whether or not the rules were broken or not adhered to. But I didn't hear anyone else come out with that from the J3A, the JOA, the Olympic Committee. I didn't hear anyone else. So was Sports DTM wrong in their assessment?
Yes, it was erroneous. And probably I can reach out to Tigat and tell him. And that video is doing, I think, I didn't listen it, but based on what people tell me about it, I didn't even go bother listen to it because I know say it wrong.
Well, no, I listened to the video. I listened to it.
Even the rule numbers that I heard that they're calling, there's no rule number like that.
Yeah,
there's
so they came with a number.
No rule like that no in the book.
Well, they said they utilized 2 sources, right? They said World Athletics and then the Olympics. And they said the Olympics adhere to World Athletics standards and rules where they may be in conflict or in dispute or if it's not covered by the Olympics. They also gave Meta or AI Meta some information. And then Meta basically said, based on what you said, here is the answer, then you're right? So if you feed me in certain information, which may not be accurate, I'm going to give you an output which may satisfy you, but may also not be accurate. Because AI is only as good as what you provide sometimes. And AI a lot of times is wrong. People, if you go to Gemini or Perplexity or ChatGPT or who else, or Pilot on Microsoft, there are a bunch of them out there now, you have to be very careful about what information you get. You have to corroborate that information. So if you go, for example, say, give me a summary of the Olympics, it gives you information like, but you're wrong. Usain Bolt didn't run in this Olympics. What are you talking about? And I'm dead serious about that, people. You get information that's just plain wrong. So unless you're familiar with the events and the stories and the situation and the history, you may be spouting wrong information, thinking it's accurate, because you think it got from AI. AI is still being trained. It's in its infancy. It doesn't know everything. And you have to be very careful with that. You have to double check and triple check your sources. Go to a more authentic source first before you even go to AI for anything. You can get wrong information. Now, Father Hype won the 100, lost the 200. Now, I was watching a channel from some Trinidad person. Somebody said, you get all these stuff from people. And the person was beating Noah, basically saying that we're taking away from Tobago in the 200 if we're talking about Noah's illness. What's your thoughts on that, Coach? Because I think it goes both ways.
Yeah, I totally agree with it. I was one of those persons who did a video because it reminds me when Usain Bolt fall started in 2015 and Johan Blake won the title. At the end of that race, Johan Blake won. He's the world champion, youngest ever world champion. But the highlight shifted from him, and everybody talking about Usain Bolt's false start. That got more traction than him winning per se.
Right.
You understand? And it was not a good look. So because a lot of persons were talking about Noah wasn't okay and blah blah blah, I jumped in and I did a video telling that them have to give Tobago him flowers. because he ran a very fast time, the 5th fastest time of all times in 200 meters, you know. And the fact is that if Noah was not well, him shouldn't come out come run. Because when you get beaten, you have to talk, say you're ill. He said that the jump out and thing when me that do before the race was a part of him tricking his mind and all of these things so that his body can, you know, all of that's nonsense to me. You should. The fact is also, Kranky, whenever Noah Lyles double, he has never run faster than 19.5, sub 19.5 in the 200 meters.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, I had him to win. When you look at the statistics, the statistical evidence, he was behind the 8 ball. So that's why I had to defend Thibogo in that 200 meter. I mean, he ran a very good race. I think it was calculated. I have always been saying that Thibogo needs to run a better curve if he wants to run fast and beat these people. Kenneth Bednarik went out like a flash. And who was following him closely? Thibogo. And once I saw that, I know that Letsile Thibogo was going to win that race.
Yeah,
so
I was one who was saying
I don't
that.
buy the thing. And few days after Noah Lyles put up, I am now COVID free. And then you see him in a party. So I'm wondering if him is it that him still have it or him trick the crowd. It was the Emmy Awards. Him did a wait for him get it. So him can go party. And it just sad. Of course, he's the face of track and field right now on the male side. So people are going to talk about him. But yeah, 2011, sorry, float management. But the fact of the matter is that let's see, Thibogo's run cannot be downplayed. It was a massive run.
Yeah, I thought Noah didn't look right in the semis. That's where I got my perspective from, actually. So I'm not saying, look, 19.46.
No, I'm not saying he's not well enough. I saw that in the semis too. Now I tell people and people beat me. I said, not doing my act for the Netflix. But me, I said, no, man, looking at him, something doing because him actually didn't go to the press box. Him go to the medical area. And that is not like unlike Noah. Put him hand on him head and a hold on him something. No, I don't know that. But I'm saying, Kranky, if you know you're unwell, don't come out.
I think he wanted so much to set all these records. I think he's driven by records, right? He wants to beat people like Bolt's records and all those, not necessarily in time, but number of gold medals. Because he wanted 3. He was talking about 4 for this Olympics, wasn't he? He was talking about doing the 4x1 and maybe the 4x4. Not sure we got on the 4x4 team. So I do think, but look, Thibogo's time is, and Thibogo lost his mom this year, right? So he's even said more about the kid and what he's done. And we'll talk a little bit about, as we go through this discussion around the African runners. So I thought they performed well in the sprints. And I think Jamaica probably going to get exacerbated because before we only have to worry about mainly about the Americans. I think that's going to change more. But I thought Thibogo was phenomenal, actually, and should be given his flowers and is being given his flowers, actually, given how well he has ran and given how well he has done. And long may it continue. I will see what happens going forward because I think he's only going to get better, right? He's only 21. He's only going to get better. Now, we saw in the women's 100 and 200, I think isn't it the first time since 76 that Jamaica hasn't had a woman in the 200, and we have been on the podium first time in 20-something years? So we set a lot of records, but negative records in the Olympics. So you see here where the Caribbean won for the 100 meters. Gabby Thomas, whose dad is Jamaican, won for the 200. 21.83 and 10.72 respectively. But I thought that the big news there was the situation with Shelly-Ann, actually. Because I got calls about this from people I didn't even know follow Shelly-Ann. I knew Shelly-Ann from a different persuasion, from different country. Like, what the heck happened? I want to talk about some of them. They're like, no, I want to talk about Shelly-Ann. Why didn't Shelly-Ann run? And you hear that on the BBC. So many different forums were talking about that. Now, would she have won? Maybe not. But at least people want to see her compete, given all she's achieved. So it was very sad to see her not running. Did you get the story, Coach? Because I still haven't gotten clarity, and most people say they haven't gotten clarity around what transpired with her.
I think everybody wanted to see Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. This is her 5th Olympic Games. Legend in the sport, arguable the greatest of all times. The GOAT, the legend, the queen. Right? So everybody wanted to see her compete. I believe also that the issue at the gate really overshadowed what really occurred with Shelly. Shelly is not one individual that will back away from competition. So persons might say that, you know, she does leave because, you know, she get that bad treatment at the gate. No. Shelly, from what I've heard, is that she was in warm-up, because I saw when she was warming up, and apparently through the warm-up process, she hurt her hamstring. And you know, that was it. That was it for her.
But she didn't come out and make any public statement, did she?
She made a public statement. However, it was not in regards to the situation. I think she was kind of buttoned up in a sense where she sent out a cryptic message.
Yeah, that's what I saw, right? Yeah, that's what I saw. Now for the 400, Quincy Hall and Paulino did really well, ran really well. Again for Jamaica, no Price in the finals. In fact, she flailed out in the 400-meter semis. Was she sick, Coach?
Yeah, from all indication, that's what I heard. She said it after her that semifinal run, that she wasn't well. Then afterwards, I got some information, yes, that the issue that she was having, and that caused her to not partake any further in the championship. So she didn't even run the 4x4. But we're expecting great things from her. I mean, it's one of those things that you have to look into in terms of athletes. Expectation is great, but sometimes things happen. Sometimes things, you know, occur, and it is just what it is. Paulino would have been the front runner if Nikisha wasn't in the race. And trust me, that race that Paulino won, I possibly don't know if Nikisha, I don't know if she, well, probably should have a ding-dong battle with her, you know.
But 48.17 is
48.17. If Paulina run that and Nikisha run faster than that, I would be overjoyed.
And Paulina had no pressure,
because I was looking at a 48.2 from Nikisha.
Right, and Paulina had no pressure. So if you had pressure, maybe you should have run a little bit faster too.
And that too.
Yeah. Now for the hurdles, and
we're not talking about the men. For me,
yes. It was on the screen, but yes.
I had Quincy. What's his name?
Smith.
Matthew Hudson Smith to win, because I've seen the improvement in his development this season. He got stronger, and he has also gotten faster. Seeing? So I've seen that progression for him. But for him to lose the same way he lost last year, Antonio Watson run past him, and now Quincy Hall run past him. But for a man to run 43-4 and lose, you could not ask for anything else from him.
He lost by what, 0.04? I think Quincy ran 43-4.
So it was a good race. I like the race. Very, very good race. Quincy Hall stepped through the crowd and run past Hudson Smith. May I tell you that, because UK thought they would have had this one in the bag, but US had something else.
Yeah, and there was no Gardner too, so they probably thought without Gardner they would be in a good place, actually. And people may not know this, actually. Some people will, that Hudson Smith actually had some mental challenges, tried to commit suicide, after Tokyo Olympics. So it went back to Simone Biles from Tokyo having some challenges. So people got to understand that athletes do go through difficult times. Mental illness is a serious illness, just like physical ones. And sometimes you have to make allowances for athletes, right? We treat them as machines sometimes, but it is significant and crucial for us to support them sometime when they may be in challenging situation. And we saw how well Hudson Smith came back, actually. And in fact, I was reading an article about him when he was going to retire, actually, and was convinced. And he lived with Father Hype for a while, actually, up until close to the Olympics. So, what were your thoughts on the hurdles?
I had the hurdles as one of the events to watch for this Olympic Games, and it lived up to the expectation. Lived up to that expectation. And I had the two individuals on screen. I picked them to win.
I thought you and what's the name? Fabian were picking Fenke Ball.
No. We were arguing with people who thought that Femke could have beaten Sydney. And we have said not in this lifetime.
Keep telling people, because you were saying there are two aliens, and I'm like, no, there's one alien.
Yeah.
There's an AI, and there's an alien.
I mean,
there's only one alien.
Based on what Femke do this season, she didn't have the alien bracket, man.
No. She came third. She didn't even come second. She came third.
Yeah, because she did extra runs.
I agree that she ran the mixed.
And you see that mixed relay where she split 47. That took something out of her, man. Remember, so she had a world indoor record holder, you know. So she put on some very good running over 400 meters indoor this season. She do some excellent times, blew away fields. So of course I had her as one of the aliens. But she kind of flop out at the Olympics.
Yeah, she did actually.
And I was looking for a sub 50 from Sydney. It never happened. But of course there's another world record. She broke her own world record. You know, so every time
and she broke it smartly. Don't break it too much. There's a lot of money to be made from breaking a world record. Break it in small increments. Break it 5 or 6 times. That's probably 100,000 a pop. You can make a lot of money.
I mean, when they got after the world record, you don't know how fast they're running.
No. You should be able to see. I mean,
Kranky.
I think for 400 you can actually gauge it.
Nah.
I think for 100 it's different. 200 is different. I think you can gauge for 400.
400, you can't gauge how fast you run.
400, yeah. When you come off of the stretch and you're by yourself, you don't have to kill yourself, right? When you come off the turn,
and you don't kill yourself and don't run the record.
But she probably runs in practice. I bet she runs in practice more than. Look how easy she ran that race, and in a world record. I bet she break world records in practice.
That wasn't that easy race. She run hard, and she has sprint to line.
How much meters she won by about 15 meters, didn't she?
Yeah. Because she run off of the last hurdle, that last 40 meters, she sprint to the line. Yeah, tell me she not run fast.
She gonna break the world record again. She gonna go under 50, trust me.
Yeah,
you see how she ran flat 4? She ran flat 4. I bet she can win the flat 4, frankly.
Yeah,
she can run on a 40 at 17.
If she run it, she got something, man. She broke
the record. She has enough money to collect, actually. What about Rye? I think Rye was brilliant, actually.
Yeah, Rye Benjamin, he was the man to beat as well. And what gave him the edge, what caused me to pick him, because he has been running some 400 meter flat, and he's running 44-2 on these times consistently. So I said that this man is in very good shape. In the last race that Warholm and Dos Santos and him ran, I kind of had a little change of heart, but I said I'm gonna still stick to Rye Benjamin because of how he dug to the line, and it was like Warholm hit 2 hurdles and him just bail, watch him and just see him off. You understand? But Rye Benjamin was to me the man to beat. He ran an excellent race. He dismissed the Norwegian, you understand? Again, and make him know, say, yo, my time now. Big up Rye Benjamin, son of former West Indies cricketer Winston Benjamin.
So has Warholm regressed?
No, I think he's still consistent because the top 3 is still running 46, These men are always easily running 46. So I wouldn't say regress. But Benjamin is just probably in better shape than he is.
Right. Now we had the 110 meters hurdles, both male and female. Grant Holloway does what Grant Holloway does, except for now he's finishing. Right before he used to struggle after 80 meters. Now he's running through the tape, and for somebody that tall and that powerful and that big, how does he get such an explosive start? Because a lot of times those bigger athletes for over history don't have those explosive starts. Right? If you're 6'3", 6'4", 200 plus, his start is ridiculous. He has Coleman type start.
I mean, I attribute this to muscle memory for Grant. He has been running indoors quite often for years, and he has not lost an indoor event. So you see that part of his race is the strongest part of his race. Out of the blocks, that kind of defy, or because it's hurdles, it might look so fast, but it is really, he's really quick out of the blocks to the first hurdle, which is about 13 meters thereabout. So, and he doesn't have to hold that dry face too long. The man does basically perfect the art. Seeing? And it is just working for him. He's one of the top hurdlers in the world. The only way this man could have lost this race is if something bad happened. And based on how him run and him concentration level, him technique, not hitting any hurdles, his technical ability, it would be very difficult for him to lose that race.
Now, Broadbell came third, tied for third, 13.09. What do you thought of his race? And also, we had two runners who finished down the track, basically.
Broadbell, this is a win for him because of what he went through this season and also what happened last season at the World Championship where he fell, having his hand on his head. This time around, he's looking down on his bronze medal, Olympic bronze medal. So that in itself is a win for Broadbell. Having surgery or a procedure on his knee this season and to come in a final and run a season best 13-0, that is a very good look. Wasn't the cleanest of race because he started out a little bit shaky, but because of his superior top end speed, he was able to just continue and put himself in a medal position. The other two Jamaicans, I mean, Ansel did not look good to me throughout the rounds. I'm kind of disappointed in Orlando Bennett. Orlando Bennett kind of disappoint me based off what he did in the semi-final.
He was inconsistent, wasn't he? His first round wasn't great. His semi-final
his
was
first
superb.
round was good. Normally, they manage
Did he come third?
First.
But he came third in the first round, right?
Him win, man.
No, man, win semi-final, not win first round, man. You can go back and check. In first round. Him win in semi-final.
Yeah, but normally he would have been out of the semi-final.
Okay.
And for him to come in the semi-final and do so well, it gave us hope.
Right.
So everybody
I thought he was going to do well in the final.
Yeah, everybody gone up at Hope Road.
Yeah, because he beat the US kid in the final, in the semi-final. What's his name?
Yeah. And
he
easily jog across the line.
Yep.
But it's one of those things, it's a barrier event. You're trying to run fast and at the same time you have barriers in front of you. So is who concentrate the most, and in terms of having their cadence and their technique, of course it's a technical event. So we have to big up Grant Holloway, big up Roberts and Broadbell. Those are your three medalists. On the female side, disappointed again in terms of our Jamaicans, but again, congrats to the newbie, Masai Russell. She looked good at the US trials. Outside of the US trials, she was soundly beaten. But the fact is that she got in some races against top hurdlers. I don't think our Jamaican got in any race against the top hurdlers. She pretty much ran a 100 meters, which going into then into the Olympics, I believe that she should have, run some sort of event. She should be assimilating the event that she was going to do. So because that she is fast, so you want to ensure that she do the hurdle consistently for, prepare herself for that event. Muscle memory and all of these things important. Yeah,
I thought Nugent looked sick to me. She didn't look healthy when she came to the finals. She looked like she didn't want to be there.
She indicated that. She said doctors had to come and see her. She never trained for days. She just lie down on the bed like she paralyzed and stuff like that. So those things occur where she's concerned.
If you watch her walking, you look like she's just like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah. And she kept mentioning, well, if it is God's will, well, if it is God's will,
when you hear that, you know where that's going, right?
Yeah, so something not really 100%.
Yeah, I thought it was a difficult situation for her, and that showed. So I have one more picture put up. I figured I have to save the best for last. So at least for us anyway. So the Duplantis does what Duplantis does. Now here's somebody who's milking the world record. Okay, milking the world record. Hurdlers do. I mean, we talk about hurdlers. Paul Walters do this. Go back to Sergey Bukpa days. Milk it and just press the dollars or the pounds, whatever it is. And obviously he won again, 6.25 meters. And appears to be unbeatable, just like how Sergey used to be way back when. Sometimes we have Paul Walters, they seem to dominate for a number of years until someone else comes along. And then we had our one Olympic gold medal for Jamaica, which you told anybody that we only have an Olympic gold medal, it would be discussed, it would be an Olympic record, they'd be surprised. Your thoughts, Coach?
Yeah, man. Big up Roger Stone, Monk Street and Punk Street. The whole Spanish Town up here right now. Farmer St. Diego throw. Big up himself. He went to other schools, but St. Diego the last school him do it with. You see it? So it was a phenomenal throw. And if you look at it, he was almost kicked out of the finals, because of some error by the official, because they did measure the correct way, and that would have caused him to be out. But kudos that they were able to, correct that, and him going at the final and him find one big throw. Seeing, and we have to big up his coach, Ryan Krauser. He won the discus. He coached Roger to a gold medal and an Olympic record. And he also coached Rajendra Campbell in the discus, and he got a third place, which is a bronze medal. So kudos to look like Crows are really finding it well with these Jamaican throwers as he continues to work with them. I think that was a very good achievement. You didn't mention the triple jump, but let me go ahead and talk about it. Shanika Ricketts, she winning that silver medal in the triple jump. We expected a medal in it because, of course, Yulima Rojas was hurt and she's out of it. So she being out, I mean, it would have been wide open for somebody to take that gold medal. The Dominican Lafon took it ahead of Ricketts. We made history in the high jump. Romaine Beckford going to the high jump finals. We made history in that same discus. 3 men in the finals of the discus. So even though it was a tough championship for us to watch and all, it was one with some great experiences, a whole lot of first timers at the Olympics. You understand? And they did themselves proud. I mean, they're an Olympian now. You can't take that away from them.
Right. So here's the question, Coach. As we talk about, I've been reading a number of different media outlets around how Jamaica performed the Olympics. I have some of them in front of me. One here is from Yahoo. It says the thought of Jamaica leaving an Olympic Games without track and field without track gold in one of its sprint events has long been unthinkable. But after a sad 48-year first for Jamaica's female sprinters in Paris, it's looking like a distinct possibility after the 4x1. So we didn't win any medal, right? If you look at Yahoo, The Guardian, there's so many articles out there talked about first, whether it's from the 70s, not being a 200, not winning a goal in XYZ. And I know you talked about this on your program. So sort of summarize for my listeners, actually, your thoughts as to, if you think about holistically, all the things that informs the poor performance on the track, how would you sequence accountability for this? Because I think it's multifaceted. It's not just one party. It's not one person. It's not one party. I think it's a number of different things. And part of it may be, somebody may even throw being unlucky in there. So how would you sort of sequence it?
For me, as we always say, who is at the helm has to take the blame, and then it trickles down. So quite frankly, the administration, both JOA and J3, would have to take the blame, because they were the leaders of this team to this prestigious Olympic Games. Yeah. Now the coaches, some of them weren't able to assist their athletes because of not getting accreditation. So again, it falls on the associations. I mean, athletes being injured, that would also be one of those things. I mean, people, when we do these reviews, people always say that we're finding excuses. And when you're looking at critical analysis, post-mortem, in order to move forward, you have to highlight certain things that happened, that occurred, and how you go about remedy the situation so that you can have a better one in the future. So probably a small-minded people think that there are excuses, right? But I believe that the athletes probably were not used to Paris, the whole climate. Persons got sick. And of course, we spoke about the injuries already. Persons, I believe, also got outclassed. So in terms of performance, some performances were poor. Yeah. So, but there are a number of things that would have caused those poor performance. So all in all, it is something that we have to look to. We have to try and nip it in the bud right now, because we can't afford to have another championship as this. It is not the worst, as some people might say. It is not the worst. However, it is beyond our expectation, or below our expectation, because of what has been occurring in the past 20 years or so. You understand? So that is what's up in terms of my analysis of the whole situation.
So is it the JOA, the J3A? Because I do think, unlike, say, a team sport like football, for example, where an administration may pick the coach for the team and may impose their perspective on the coach in terms of picking the team, the administration don't pick the athletes. Their performance determines them being there, and they're coached by individuals who are not controlled by the administration. Now, in terms of certification and who goes, yes, they have control over that. But all being said, in terms of the track and field athletes, the administration doesn't have control over them, do they? It's more like the individuals, like the Fanners of the world and Mills of the world, right? So then shouldn't the accountability and the blame be shared? Like the example for Sharika Jackson
of
situation.
course, I did say that. I said it starts with the head and then it trickles down. And I mentioned the coach, I mentioned the athletes, I mentioned the climate, and I mentioned even the athletes, some might underperform. So yeah, you're right.
No, when we say the head, meaning, to me, there are two heads, There's the administration, the two administration, the JOA and the J3A. But there's also the coaches.
Yeah, they have
who are heads. So to me, at a similar level to the JOA and the J3A. If I think about it. Now, in terms of
course,
logistics,
the coaches have to shoulder some of the blame, Kranky. Can't escape that one. Preparations. I think I hear Stephen Francis planning on banning social media because he believes that one of his athletes went on social media. Something was said and it just threw her off mentally. And back to the administration, they need sports psychologists to go to these major events. So it's a holistic thing, Kranky. Everybody, all and sundry, have to really take responsibility for what occurred. And what I see coming out of this, I hope, well, there are two things I see coming out of it. It's the administration a shake-up. There might be an exodus. And because of what transpired, people are going to regroup, go back to training, and put in some good preparation because they want to elevate themselves at the top.
Yeah.
Because we're not sick for these things. So I do believe that there's gonna be a change.
Yeah, even with all that said, if you look at this, which I find interesting actually, if you look at the medal standing, where we normally are way up on the top, we're still finished in 8th position. And we have had one of our worst, if not our worst, performance on the track in a long time. We're still finishing 8th. Obviously, the US was dominant in this Olympics, but there weren't a ton of countries. I mean, Great Britain only had 1 gold, right? And we had a bunch of injuries. We have excuses. I'm not sure they have too many excuses. So it's not the worst.
The US have excuses too, Kranky. They lost 2 relays and they have a ton of excuses and I blame who them fair blame.
True.
So that's how perfect they want the thing to be. So if we do perform on the track the way we did and we just come and just relax, no, sir.
So I'm gonna say this. So you and I have had a disagreement, and Leighton, I don't have the best friend, but I remember this one. You and I and Leighton had a disagreement once. No, you and Leighton were on the same side about Jamaica overachieving in track and field. And you two said no. Most articles I've read said that, which
they will say that, Kranky, but that
per capita.
That doesn't mean it is true.
But it's the logic of how they think about this, where most people think about this, right?
But I know everything logical is sensible,
What do you mean? That's contrary.
Of course, I can say that.
Hey, don't make a Whitmore. Don't make a Whitmore comment.
No, man. And everything people say what they consider to be logical is sensible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everything logical is sensible. I would think something that's not logical is not sensible. Hey, that is a Whitmore comment in the coach. Is a Whitmore comment?
No, I may stick to it. Kranky, not everything that people deemed as being logical is sensible.
Okay. There's a difference between the deemed and something that's logical.
Yeah.
Because you and Leighton beat me when I was on your channel way back when. That'd be 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, where I was making the case that for 3 million people, if you want to extend it to the diaspora, we continually overachieve in track and field. So people in the chat, and a lot of people in the chat didn't agree with me either, but I think we overachieve. And we've been overachieving for year after year. So maybe this is more reality for us, because if Nigeria have over 100 million people and they struggle to get a medal, and we only have 3 on the island and a few more overseas, and we're doing this year after year, then it's a good thing. It's a good thing that we have done so well in track and field.
I don't think we overachieve based on the system where we have the systematic system of preparedness or preparation. I don't think we overachieve. This thing is you have to prepare, you have to be fast, and you have to ensure so you manage your injuries. And when we were doing that, we didn't have a lot of injuries. No, we are struggling in terms of injury management. So I wouldn't say that we overachieved when we were dominating, because we weren't at the top in terms of United States versus Jamaica. We were always second. So I wouldn't see it as overachieved. If we were constantly winning.
No, we were. US was not at the top. So here's why I look at it.
It's like when you look on the final medal table, US was always at the top.
No, but I wouldn't expect us to be able to be at the top. I mean, you're talking about a country that has 100 times the size of the population of Jamaica, right?
But Kranky, and that is why I said this logical thing of using the number per capita doesn't make sense. How many people in Jamaica, in a US are going to do track and field? We can't use that.
Okay, so let's do it this way then.
Kranky, we have to use who do the sport. It's right. Who do the sport versus who do the sport. It cannot be who did not participate in the sport versus who participate.
All right.
It doesn't make no sense to me.
So even if you use participation as the criteria, the US still has a much bigger population than Jamaica. So the US and Jamaica stops at 400 meters.
But Kranky,
yeah.
If you look on Say you have 5 million in the US and we have 2 million in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
How many of those people US can use to run 100 meters? 3 me I use and them I use 3, you know. So
Right.
we can't use numbers.
No, here's why numbers are important. Because they have a much larger pool to select from. And they have more resources. And they have just as good a coach or better coaches.
Kranky, they have a larger pool to select from, but how many persons can be selected?
No, it's the same number, but it's like every other
so
sport.
Because the pool is larger, there's gonna be persons that are better than the. So, all right, 10,000 man come for run for 100 meters.
All right.
You probably have 7,000, 8,000 no good.
Right, but you still have 2,000.
But they still have a big pool, so that would have been wastage of people's time. That man just come because him can't something there. Him can't enter.
No, if you look
quality
at the
over
US
quantity, man.
No, I disagree. If you look at the US 100 meters, for example, what times they run, 200 meters, 400. I think 400 is a different story. They can put 3 teams on the field for 400 and still win.
Yes, Kranky, but you're saying that we underachieve because per capita.
No. I said we overachieve per capita. I said we overachieve per capita.
Overachieve, right. So
compared to the rest of the world.
Every single country that goes into these championships, no matter how big or small their countries are, they have to only use the amount of persons. When we were dominating, and doing well, we were part of the 400, the 200 and the 100. We're competitive in the hurdle. We're competitive in the 400 too.
All right, so you know what? Reposition that. Let's use something closer to home about overachieving per capita. Let's use Trinidad, for example, who had no medals in the Olympics. Did they have any in the last Olympics? I don't think they did either.
No.
And they have 1/3 the population of Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So we have said them underachieve?
Well, either underachieve or they operate like you're supposed to operate if you have a small population. One of the two.
Not necessarily, because look on Grenada, Kirani James alone show up. And he win quite a few Olympic.
Well, no, they have a shot put. They have a
plus the discus. No, not the discus.
The javelin.
The javelin and them have a deck athlete too.
They have a deck athlete.
So you can't say them people that under overachieve because of their numbers. Kirani has been flying the flag high for Grenada. Is it that they overachieve? No, them are do well in our event where Kirani is good.
Well, no, they have invested more in the sport, as is very obvious, between the decathlete, the javelin thrower, and Kiran, who's been there for a while, right? So if you spend time in the sport, you invest in the sport. But
Walcott has been there for a while too. So our investment come in that, or invest a lot in the sport. If investment as according to you in the sport is something that they have been doing, then more athletes should have been churning out and not the same 3 people that would have been there. Only person new come up are the deck athlete.
Yeah. No, look, I believe per capita, we do it year after year after year, we overachieve. So we'll agree to disagree.
No, man, I not agree with you if you disagree.
No,
me and you does not agree. You can't agree if you disagree. All that statement, the Kranky, that doesn't make no sense to me.
No, you and I agree that we disagree. That's what the statement is saying.
Oh, you just said it. Yes, you just said it.
No, we agreed. No, I said we agreed to disagree. That's what the statement is. That means we both agree that we don't align our thoughts don't align.
Right.
So Seymour said I disagree with Coach. Thank you, Seymour. It's only one person going to take on this is Seymour. Say disagree.
Disagreed mean what? In what?
Probably about. I assume about the per capita that we overachieve.
Huh?
I assume about the overachieve.
You don't know if that thing was.
Hey, Seymour, elaborate for me. Seymour, I think that's what you're saying, but elaborate.
You might be right. Where must say when this? I've always been telling the people, you have to tag one comment when me say where you disagree with our tag, so me can know the line of the conversation. You can't say yes, coach, or no, coach, and a whole lot of things we say, so we can't really pinpoint. Me I go assume which one you have.
Mara said Grenada top Jamaica per capita. I don't think so. Grenada has what? About 150,000 people. Or about similar to St. Lucia, maybe a couple 100,000. So it's about 15 times 6. It's about equal. They had what? How many medals they had? 1? They got the bronze, right?
No, they got 2 medals.
They got the decathlon. Oh, yeah, they got 2 bronze. Yeah.
And how much medals we get?
6.
So
we have we say it's 3 times.
You see, I don't look at it that way. That is just my preference. I am not going to look at it and say, all right, me win 2 medals and me only have 3 people per my team. So you will have 10 persons should I win more medals. That not necessarily means that have to happen. At the event, you must say me enter more event than you know, which are more competitive event. You are only able to enter 3. So why we are compare? If we are compare at the amount of medals,
no. So here's the comparison with the US should be actually, and you make a great point. I'm gonna take you up on that point. So if you compare Jamaica and the US, event for event that we participate in, we dominated them year after year for a while.
Mm-hmm.
We don't run past the 4, except for Gould. And now we're doing Tracy, right? We don't run past the 4. So
but those are track events.
I know, but I'm just saying we don't run past the 4. So if you compare events for events, 1, 2, 4, 110 hurdles, 100 hurdles, we dominated the US for year after year for a while, even though they won more medals than us. Yes.
But it has always been that, Kranky. So it cannot be overachieving.
No, it hasn't always been that way, actually. It hasn't always been that way. In the 70s
but
and
so
80s,
why do we call it overachieving?
Because we're saying, given the size of the country,
no, so if
the world has 7.8 billion people and you have 3 million and you come 6 in that competition when over 200 people participate in the Olympics and a ton of countries didn't get 1 medal, you overachieve.
I not agree with that. We cannot agree with that.
So as I said, we agree to disagree.
Me and you enter the same amount and you enter some that I wasn't a part of.
Right. But I'm saying compare what we entered and how we did.
So the one that when me and you enter, me dominate. Me not overachieve. Me dominate.
But see, it's not only me and you know. It's you.
Kranky,
it's me and the rest of the world.
Kranky is mathematician. Put up then look something if you have conversation. Statistician put up these things to have conversation. Me and you enter 100 meter, me use 3 athletes, you use 3. I don't care if you have a wider pool to choose your 100 from. At the end of the day, we are going to use 3 athletes and your best 3 versus my best 3.
Right. But see, the 3 is not just one country. The 3 is every other country across the 200 plus countries who participate in the Olympics. That's the 3. And so first you got to make the qualifying.
Mathematician are put in all like people when compete.
It's just logic. It's just logic. It's just logic.
I mean, logic. So then maths have to do with logics, Kranky.
Yes, maths
have to do with logics. I don't see it as overachieving.
See, Toki said, I agree with Kranky. We overachieve. See?
Yeah, then that's the opinion, and we just don't agree on it. I don't see it as that. Statisticians and all of these people bring up these things if you have conversation.
No,
so because a small country, we are go up against a small country. A small country not to beat you. Or no,
it's not a small country. It's the rest of the world. Any event you enter into, the rest of the world is your competition. Now, some may not participate in that event. Some may not qualify to go into the event, but it's the rest of the world. It's the rest of 200. Every single event is the rest of 200.
So now that may I say, Kranky, so they start to include who not participating at the event and put it in the statistics?
No, but the point is this. They're not good enough to participate in the first place. Or else they would participate. For most countries, they're not good enough. They're not good enough to participate because if they could, they would participate. So that shows how good you are, especially given your size. Right?
So
they're not going to participate.
If me understand what Drew Fortis is saying.
Yes, that's exactly what we're saying, Drew. Yeah.
So because all right. A school that has 400 pitney, we take GSAT, and a school of 1,000. I take GSAT or pepper weight one name. You're going to tell me if if the small school get 350 out of the 400, and the large school get 800 out of the 1,000, the small school would have overachieve.
No, it depends on facts and circumstances, though. That's not a good
the-
analogy.
you know,
That's not a good analogy.
Kranky,
And here's why. No,
I
here's,
use that point. Hold on. I use that
Yeah.
point to tell you that are the people them with the statistics put these things in place to compare country per capita.
No. Here's how I think about this.
Nonsense. Me not agree with it.
So when Jamaica participated in the Olympics, it's Jamaica's 3. So you have 7.8, 7.9 billion people on the planet, right?
Mhm.
Let's pull out how many could run, right? Whatever the numbers could run. Because it's not 3 million people in Jamaica running in a coach. When you cut your number, cut the Jamaica number, and a 3 million people in Jamaica running is a much less number than 3 million.
But on a 500 million US
No, because you said 5 million participants in athletics in the US when you were using your analogy previously.
Mhm.
But you haven't cut down the Jamaica number. The Jamaica number is not 3 million. It's a much lower number than 3 million.
No, Kranky, me not said that. You said no. You said that they have a larger pool to pick from.
Yes.
I said the larger pool does not mean anything to me, because if you carry 1,000 athletes and out of the 1,000 only 200 good enough to make the semi-final and final, at the end of the day, 3 are going to run from Jamaica and 3 are going to run from US.
I agree, but all being equal, if we are human beings and all being equal, it is more probability.
Well, it can never be equal, Kranky. That's why I said these folks put in these probability, these possibilities, and these statistics to have certain type of conversation that goes beyond the sport. US use 3 in a 100. Jamaica use 3 in a 100. Trinidad use 3 in a 100. What if Trinidad get one gold medal and everybody else, US get silver, Jamaica get bronze? You tell me, say Trinidad overachieve. Trinidad have the best run out of all of them. It can't be overachieving.
No. The overachievement is about sustained overachievement. It's not one-off situation. It's not aberrations. It's sustained. So I'm doing it year after year after year after year after year.
So how
that's the overachievement.
What is your definition of overachieving?
Well, the overachievement comes with the per capita. So if you have 100, here's the thing though. So here's what logic is. If you have one chance to do something and I have 100 chance, more than likely, I'm going to be successful more than you are.
Well, Kranky, that is the problem. You guys who are talking about statistics and overachieving and miss the mark, because you don't use 100 times for getting You use 3 and you use 3.
Exactly. So here's the point though. You only have one person, and the probability of that person being excellent is less than 100 person also applying for the same situation.
Kranky, that's why the Kranky, at the end of the day, both are we are churning out 3 athletes.
Yes.
Jamaica have 20 man who run 100 meters. At the end of the day, 20 cannot go to the Olympics. At 3 are go for run the 100. US have 200 to choose from. How many are go?
3 going.
Exactly. So why the Alabama about?
Yeah, but put the 3 from Jamaica with the US. Say they were in the US.
The Jamaicans would have made it.
But that's the point, though. Why? Isn't that overachieving?
No,
where you get 3 chances and I get.
You just pass. Why not bring that statistical evidence? Not the thing when I need it, when I really warranted.
All right, we go move on. We can't change coach mind. And coach wrong. When coach wrong, just say me just wrong. I move on, Kranky. Wrong, coach wrong.
You cannot tell me, Kranky.
Okay,
you said the overachievement have to do with the per capita, and that match up to my logics.
You know something, Juras, that is a contributor, right? So the example that coach gave with the high school, that's how you think about it. So what informs the performances when you use the 350 and 1,000 versus 10,800, right? Do they have better teachers? They have better school system? Do they practice more? Do they study longer and harder? All of that, right? So how does that work? What's the development look like? So
how does that affect overachieving?
Well, no, that's the point I'm making, which is we're just saying plain all being equal. So you're right. It's overachieving when you think about per capita, but it's not overachieving if you and I are starting the same place, right? Because I don't think we're starting the same place with Jamaica and the rest of the world in a lot of instances.
Kranky. All right. So, for example, there was no runoff, and we only have 3 people to go at the Olympic.
Yeah.
My point is that Jamaica will send their best 3 athletes. US have a broader pool, so if you are going to use your pool, the likelihood of you getting better athletes than Jamaica would be, it still cannot equate because we don't compete yet. You see me I say? So you put your 3 and me put my 3. Oh, when we meet up on the world stage now, going up against other athletes from different country, we brush them aside and we reach at the final. Me and you buck up in the final. And if me beat you, you're going to tell me say my achievement is overachievement because my country is smaller than yours. How does that correlate?
No, so right. So
And
you're going to the end outcome, and we're starting from the inception point.
But the inception doesn't mean anything because at the end of the day, I need to send these amount of people there to compete against your amount of people.
Right. But
so it's not like US using more people than Jamaica.
No, I understand. But the logic is that if I have 100 and you have 3, I am more than likely going to get 3 who exceeds the performance of your 3.
You don't know because we have never competed. That's the point I'm trying to make as well.
No, but you're saying in general terms, in life in general.
No, Kranky, no. And that's why I'm telling you, say, in the sporting arena, yeah, the statisticians, them are put this thing inside of it, to inject, to have whatever them are trying to achieve, which will per capita. That's not important in the sport.
No, the per capita is just about, given the size of the country, how come you always producing athletes at world-class level on a continuous basis?
Because
we can't. Okay. We can't do it in football.
Because the football is our team sport, track and field. I can spend more.
No. It's not. It's not about team. Go ahead.
Hold on. Track and field is not a team sport. Football is a team sport. Track and field coaches know the sport more than all the football coaches them know the sport. See? If I have a small group and I can work with that small group, Kranky, continuously, don't you think that small group, I can get more out of the small group than if I have a larger group?
Yes, in general. But think about it this way.
Exactly.
We've been doing track and field since 1948
so we can't use that.
with Wind and McKinley and Roden, and we've been world-class from then. Well, we didn't have any great coaches. So there's probably an innate element to our athletic genes that allow us to perform that way. It can't just be coaching because we were great before we had great coaching. If Fana and Mills and them are the great coaches we have produced over time, we were good in the 70s with Donald Quarry and others. We're good in the 80s. We're good in the 90s. We have gotten better, incremented much better over time, and the number has increased. But we always produce brilliant athletes. The Julia Cuthbert, the great Jacksons, the what's his name, from Bert Cameron, the Merlin Otis. We've always produced great athletes. We're producing more of them now in concentration. So that's the people use the word overachieve, which is how come you always produce great athletes when most of the countries don't do it, and you're such a small island? Trinidad was good at one time with Aisley Crawford. Now Trinidad is not good.
Kranky, I understand the term, but I don't agree with it being used in this scenario. Because my 3 versus your 3.
Right, yeah. Because Jason Guna, I have never heard of any great coaches during that time period or up until maybe 80s, maybe not even that. Tell me the great coaches that came before in the 60s, 50s, because 80s, the 40s was after World War II. I don't know if any great coaches I've heard about in track and field. Apart from the ones that we know more recently, I haven't heard we had any great coaches, right? A lot of our athletes just come to the US and train, and then subsequently at some point we stopped doing that. We still send them, but not like we used to. So I don't know about any great coaches we had or great machinery. I didn't know of those actually. Maybe you know, Guna, so you can tell me, but I haven't heard of those.
So, Baggio bring the thing to social thing, I know. That not have nothing to do with rice here, so.
Yeah,
it's
no,
a
I don't.
Different argument.
We can have the murder rate discussion on another channel.
Yeah,
but that's not.
we can have it on the next channel. That no fit right as Baggio, because
Yeah.
on
It's a
a
lot of
three
different
P
issues that raise there.
at the Olympics, your 3 versus my 3. Sometimes at the World Championship is your 4 versus my 3 because somebody get a bye.
So why isn't Trinidad performing like Jamaica then?
Huh?
Why isn't Trinidad competing with the US like Jamaica compete with the US?
Because
Their population is half our population. Maybe
well,
1/3.
When Atta Bowling spoke, he talks about the administration that is missing, and I would take it a step further that they might not have the talent in terms of coaching wise and athletes wise to compete. When last has Trinidad produced a top quality sprinter? Well, the two with the on the trajectory I go up right now are the twins them.
Right. But
Them
they're
twin
okay.
girl, isn't it?
They're good.
So,
but coaching, we use that logic about coaching. We gotta take coaching out to mean some respect for track and field, because a lot of countries, especially the more with resources, have very good coaches. Still not producing sprinters. Africa needs to produce sprinters. Now they're producing sprinters. Right? Africa at one point didn't produce any quality sprinters.
So would you say that Africa is now overachieving sprinting?
No, they're not overachieving. Actually, they've been underachieving for years. They're not overachieving. They were underachieving, given their size and given their DNA.
Okay.
Why is Jamaica producing all these sprinters? Africa not doing it when we come from the same DNA? Right? It doesn't make any sense, because you know why? Because they probably were focused on the longer sprints more than off. And if you're from South Africa, where you've been under apartheid, probably didn't get a chance to even run. Now they're running. Now we're seeing a difference. They're producing a lot of sprinters now, when historically it was mainly long distance. And people think that Africa didn't have the DNA to sprint, and they're showing that that's not the case. So I think Jamaica's overachieved. I think you agree with us.
No, I can't agree with it.
So
when we got champs, no matter where Idle doing at the season, no matter where Edwin Allen doing at the season, when them reach champs, which is the championship, it's Edwin's 3 versus Idle's 3 versus St. Diego's 3 versus.
So why is it that Idle and St. Diego and what's the name always dominating, or KC, Calabar, JC always dominating? Why?
And you look at numbers now. Do you?
Because each team have 3, like you say now. Each team have 3 now. So why are they always dominating?
So they better prepare the 3.
No, it's not better prepared 3. No, that's not the rationale. Coach, you know that. No, that's not a quick coach. Because no. Okay,
Kranky, my argument not change. Are they better prepared 3? Are they your 3 versus my 3? So now who are gonna dominate? Are they better?
No. Because they recruit the best athletes at a very early age. That's why they dominate. KC, in fact, they go outside Jamaica.
But they also have good coaching.
I don't think it's the athletes.
So Jamaica overachieve because they recruit.
No. So here's the point I'm making.
So US are overachieve because they have been recruiting. A lot of different nationalities have been in their country running.
Let's take a step back. We're going to use your logic.
No, we're not taking a step back.
Okay.
So US are really the overachiever.
No.
Because
they have the population size.
Nationalities have always been repping for United States.
No. Because most of the athletes for US in the sprints come from the black population. 99% of them come from the black population.
And from which other and are all of them Americans?
They're either Americans or naturalized Americans. In fact, no. In the sprints, most of them are Americans. For the longer distances, they're recruiting Africans who come here naturalized. Most of them are Americans.
A lot of the sprinters.
Yeah.
If you check their background,
some of the sprinters.
Okay.
But they're born in the US. They may have history from Jamaica or Trinidad or Benjamin, but they're born in the US.
Yes.
Right? They're not naturalized, they're born in the US. Right? So if you go to your logic, we'll go back to your logic, Let's go back to Jamaica with your logic. With the whole concept of the dominant teams in Jamaica. KC, Calabar, JC.
No, hold on. I you start calling them name then. I use Idle, St. Jago, and Homewood.
Okay, let's use IJS. No, Homewood was
Well,
one.
no.
Go ahead.
So Idle is as overachieved by winning champs with a small
No,
amount
they're
of
not
girls that them have.
overachieved. No. What they have done is recruit the best athletes to run for them.
But Kranky, all right, let us remove recruiting, Kranky. It's
all about recruiting.
Well, no, man. Let me put the argument in perspective. If we remove the recruiting and it's your 3 versus my 3, now better 3 are going to win. So anywhere
you can't
those
remove the
3,
recruiting.
well, no. Anywhere them
3.
3 they go, representing any school, at them 3 they would have win. Don't.
But the 3 may go, it'll be this more distributed. There'll be no dominant team. So we go back to Jamaica being dominant.
Oh my
right?
God, Kranky, you're not understanding.
But you have
the
to.
question.
No, I understand what you're saying.
So the 3 were Idle recruit. Bring that 3 went to St. Catherine.
Right. No, so they go different school. They go to school in the neighborhood. So they come from Lucy. They come from Montego Bay. They come from Kingston. They come from
not tell me what to say.
That's how Jamaica recruit. That's how recruiting is in Jamaica.
Hold on. Let me say what I say. Those 3 go to St. Catherine.
Right.
When they got St. Catherine and then got champs to represent, who are going to win? If them are the top persons, and once they are coached properly, them are going to win.
Right.
So you cannot, it's quality over quantity, Kranky. That's why I say I don't buy this per capita argument in sports, because when it comes on to me and you meet at the line, are your best 3 versus my best 3.
So why does Jamaica produce so many excellent athletes versus...
No, Kranky, why would they have trials? No, if you select the best persons to come and run against the other countries.
I understand that.
Exactly.
Yes.
So why is it overachieving? When my best 3 meet your best 3 and I flog your best 3, why is it overachieving?
So let's go to team sport, because it says 3 using 3. Why Jamaica best 11 in football, locally produced, can't compete on the world stage with other people's best 11?
But I spoke to you on that.
Which is?
I spoke to you on that. We're not a footballing country. we have the talent, but we don't have the aptitude of personnel to develop these talents. And you know that. Okay.
I still think we overachieve, and you disagree. So we're gonna keep you there, people. Coach will never agree with me, but he's wrong. But I
can't agree upon that one, the Kranky. I cannot agree upon that one. It just don't make no sense to me. Because Idle have a small school, Edwin have a big school. So Idle beating Edwin and doing quality performances. You gotta tell me they overachieve after them put in the hard work.
No. But the comparison is not fair though, because in your country, you can't go and recruit outside of the domain you have in your country.
You see, yeah, switch the argument to recruit.
No. Okay.
Hold on, Kranky. Okay. Yeah, that is a different argument and realm you go in.
No, it's not different.
Yes,
I'm explaining why.
Listen why it is. We are making comparison between a small country and a big country.
Right.
Jamaica versus US. Right. So now I bring it to Jamaica, inside of Jamaica, and I'm making that that comparison between a small school in Hydel and a large school in Edwin Allen.
Right.
Edwin Allen was dethroned by the small school.
Right.
Because of quality performance. Don't bring in no recruiting yet. It no matter right now. Are you telling me that small school overachieved by kicking away the foot of Edwin Allen in the large school?
So coach, you can't
answer yes or no, Kranky.
But you're wrong in your thesis and your logic is not there.
Why?
So did all those kids pass to go to Hydel?
Cranky.
No. Answer the question. Did they pass to go to Hydel?
Cranky.
They don't pass to go Hydel.
Cranky. Yeah, move the goalpost.
No. They don't pass to go. Here's what happened.
Cranky.
You're moving the goalpost. You're using analogies which don't work.
Cranky, I'm trying to keep it very simple.
No. It's not simple.
When we were talking about US versus Jamaica, you were talking about per capita numbers in terms of, you didn't talk about people who recruit from small island go US, them parent and then go born there. People who come from a different country and then come in a country.
No, but they're US citizens. They're US citizens, so it's part of the larger US pool.
But they have an history. They have a history where they were coming from. Seeing?
Not really. Some of them don't know. Antigua not history track. Antigua not history track. Right, Benjamin come from Antigua not history track.
The parents were, of course, yes, you say you don't know about the sport.
No, I said track. I said track. Not talking about cricket. Track and field. What's Antigua history track and field?
He used to run for Antigua and Barbuda.
Yes, but what them win?
So you tell me say another history? I know.
What I mean is history is about performance.
The individual.
Right, but the individual no win nothing. So we can't say have some genes. When win?
What you mean?
Why win?
Win a character and them something. What you talking? Anyways.
Never mind no character. Never mind no character. I mean, for the character.
The point I'm making, Kranky, in the argument, initially you never bring up none of these variables. So why when I use the example with Jamaica, you tell me say my thesis not right, and you tell me say a recruiting, how much people pass with a school there. Inside Jamaica, I gonna come with a different variable. So
okay, when you finish, me explain why your logic is not there. I'm explaining why.
You're not gonna see it because you're gonna look into something where me tell us.
No, because you're telling me not to include something which is all about, which everything is about it.
No, it cannot.
Okay. What does Casey do? So when
look here,
wait. Okay,
Kranky, nobody with no KC, man. That tickle your fancy.
But you just use Idel. You just use Idel.
But Idel are not my school. But could I use St. Jago as a small school?
Okay. Let's use Calabar. Let's use Calabar.
No, we're not using Calabar. Look here. We want to keep it simple.
Right.
This is a big pen. This is a small pen. Why that small pen write better than a big pen?
Because you buy the wrong pen. The big pen not good. The big pen not good. The big pen are like the big school. When I have no
US not good then. US not good.
Eh?
No.
So here's the example. So the coach that we gonna know. Let me get example, people. Coach, you have to exclude recruiting from this. Are you crazy? Why does Casey go to Uganda or go Africa go recruit? We can't exclude recruiting.
Kranky, Kranky, I use two girls' school because I know you're going to go over on the boys' side.
Let's use girls. Let's use girls' school, people.
Kranky, both.
How many athletes from Idel passed with Idel?
Balance. When me use Idel or Edwin,
okay,
I could have talked about the recruiting because both schools recruit extensively, Kranky.
Exactly.
Seen? So right. I cannot use the recruiting. I have to use big school versus local school.
But you can't do that though. If you did it without them recruiting, it's a different discussion.
So what?
With no recruiting,
what are you using?
Idel wouldn't compete with Edwin.
Hold on. So we sure what the per capita now wanna use recruiting for that argument.
No. Because here's the thing.
What is the thesis of the other argument?
Because the countries can't recruit. The countries can't recruit.
So
this is not Jamaica football. We can go get overseas players.
No, what are you using as the basis then? A lot of people come run for Jamaica. We're born in the US.
Not a lot. We only had 2 this year. I only 1 in the team. We don't have a lot. We only have 2 and 1. I know for the US, they have a few that get naturalized, but it's not a lot.
All right.
So you can only use the population that you have within your country.
So what is the basis of this argument then? If when I use my example in Jamaica and you say we can't use that because we have a touch on recruiting, right? What are we using US versus Jamaica then?
The domicile population that you have, the population you have. So Jamaica have 3 million, US have 330 million. You can bifurcate that into any way you want to. Who participate in track in Jamaica, who does in the US, and come up with your numbers that's comparable, and it's still a huge number versus Jamaica number. And the question is, how could Jamaica, if you think about it, so the US has 1 million who run track, and Jamaica have 100,000 who run track. So it's 10 times that number. Why would Jamaica produce 3, which can compete with the US, when the US have 10 times more chance to produce that same 3? That's supposed to be better.
So in a sense, you're saying that small countries should not be doing better than larger countries in a particular sport?
No, because if the large country don't play the sport, then it don't make no sense, right? If neither country play the sport, it don't make no sense. The question arises is
them don't play it and I use them as example.
No, because if you don't play the sport, you can't tell me if you compete with you and play the sport. We don't
But
play
Kranky,
baseball, so we can't compete with the US in a baseball if we don't play baseball. The question is, if they both participate in the sport, they have a lot of resources coming to the sport, right? The sport is something where they have a
question. I'm gonna ask you the question again. Right. So because US is a large country, right, and Jamaica is a small island in the Caribbean,
right,
we should not be doing better than them in track and field because of the amount of people they have participated in the sport versus what we have to participate.
All
that is
being equal.
Nonsense.
Wait. Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. All being equal, given our DNAs, given coaching, given resources. But all the factors have to be considered when you think about this.
Did I ask you from earlier?
But they have to be considered. So that's why per capita Jamaica should do better than them.
Hold on, you never say all of this now the early part of the conversation, and that's why I tell you, say me I go throw out the recruiting and just look on this.
So if you throw out everything,
small pen.
US has 45 million black people. Jamaica has 3 million blacks. If you think about all being equal, just pure numbers, it doesn't make for Jamaica to dominate US at any point in time.
Why?
Given it's a what? 15-1? No.
Kranky, that is flawed. You know why?
Give me a history in track and field. No.
Kranky, that is flawed because more Jamaicans, as small as the island is or small as the numbers are, they participate and love track and field more than US.
No, they may love it more, they don't participate more. No, I don't agree with you. There's more black Americans who participate in track and field than US than Jamaica do.
Kranky.
Just give them the numbers. Just give them the numbers.
Kranky.
We Jamaica, may love it more, we may concentrate it more, but I'm not saying yeah, go ahead.
First of all, US don't in them early childhood school, they don't have sports day.
True.
Which is track and field.
Okay.
In the elementary school, unless a Jamaican contingency there, so them are have track sports day. See, in the elementary school, no track and field. Most time them start track and field is at what? Middle school.
Okay.
Which is primary level, close to primary level, early entry high school. In high school, that is where they do the track and field. While we are doing it from little teeny weeny come up.
Yeah, but we only start. It wasn't always like that. It wasn't always like that in Jamaica. It wasn't always like that in Jamaica. We didn't track and field from teeny weeny historically.
But if it wasn't like that in Jamaica, then it never like that in US then. So
but the point I'm trying to make is that Jamaica is always being able to produce great athletes, even
because of the social development. Americans will always produce NFL players, basketballers, baseballers, because those sports are put in the front whenever it comes to teaching sport in school. So you cannot tell me, say, because them have a bigger number, we not supposed to match up to them. Look at the social development of each country, Kranky. You cannot just say that. That's why I'm telling you, say the per capita foolish is nonsense.
But here, no. But here's the point, though.
Because socialization
here's what you're missing.
Social
here's what I mean. Here's what you're doing. Wait.
Ball and fling ball.
No. But here's what you're missing. It's not just about the US. It's against the world. It's not about the US. The per capita we use was US as an example, but it's not Jamaica against the US. Jamaica against the world.
You're changing now.
It's a much larger. But it's a fact. It's a larger pool.
Even if you change the Kranky, my argument will remain the same. None of them countries do it like we. In Africa, man run go far. That's why they do the long distance.
But they start to run now. But in the rest of the world, they have ran in a lot of different countries. European countries have ran historically.
No country's system of development like Jamaica over the years. And that's why this per capita foolishness are mashing up, because now look on the since you see. You never want to look at you. That's why I throw the recruiting thing in a Kranky. See, you start use the variables there and you shoot yourself in your knee. So you start wobbly now.
No. I've always said against. I use the word 7.8 billion people at the inception of the conversation. We just use US as an example because it's closer to home and that's the main competitor for us. I've always said it's 7.8 billion, almost 8 billion people we're competing against. But then you narrowed it down to say, you know what, 8 billion people don't run, which I agree with.
Yes.
Right. So we carve the number down to a more manageable number, given who may participate in this sport. It's still a huge number.
And when you still carve it down, Kranky, Jamaica's number will still be high. Okay. Because that's what we know here. in Jamaica. That's what we know. We go out there and we play, we run track. Every little pitney. As they start and do nothing, them a race, them start race. Then stoop down and then get up and then start run. Every little baby in Jamaica, most of them. Probably things have changed now because, you know, the whole thing, them are adapt to the US type of thing. So that might not go on. But as they start go school, racing a fee night, running a fee night.
I don't think because you do something mean you're going to be good at it.
Well,
a lot of people participate in a lot of different things and they're not good at it. But they're not world class.
Kranky, the evidence is there with US and basketball and baseball.
Yeah, but the problem...
And a little bit, and I grew up basketball, baseball. Kranky, not tell me a long time US Kranky, man.
But coach, you think, coach, we got to think about this way. Basketball has changed material. I just talked about that with the US struggling against Serbia, struggling in France. You know why? Because the rest of the world started playing basketball like how they play basketball here. Over time, they caught up.
Yeah, I agree with the point when you said that the rest of the world started to play basketball now. So they might match up with them.
But they've always been running track.
No.
It's been going on for over 100 years.
They now run track. The amount of track, me tell you, Kranky, when me tell you say high school, a track start serious in a US. High school, that time food pit then gone through the whole rudiments and then sitting there already.
It wasn't always like that. I'm telling you, it wasn't always like that.
Kranky, then cite me evidence to Kranky.
In the 70s, it wasn't like that. Nobody got to know rudiments in a primary school back in the 70s and early 80s. Nobody did do that. You run track, yes. You got champs, yes, but it wasn't as...
Talk to Bert Cameron. I have
never talked to Bert Cameron. I was living in Jamaica. I never talked to Bert Cameron. Me see it, believe it.
Well, I know. Go look for my channel. I have an interview with Bert Cameron. I'm going to tell you how they start out in their life in a track and field. Yeah,
but we act like it was that. It wasn't as organized as it is today. Prep school.
And them Monday. So all them would have just have it Kranky and come up because people throw it a do it, and it just become a part of us till people start establish it, and that's why it gets so
right.
Great
but it become more formalized and more established. But let's not say in the early 70s, 60s, and early 70s, and even mid 70s and late 70s, we had this very structured standard in primary school about how we do track. Yeah, we had sport days. Yeah, we had track, but it wasn't like that.
Well, I know. Even if it never structured as it was, people are the sports day.
Tell me, when did we start in Jamaica prep school competition in track? Did we have prep competition in track in the 70s?
I wouldn't say that. How many prep schools did we have in those days?
But that's the point. But that's the point, though. That's the point.
They were always primary schools, people running against people.
They're not a primary school competition in track that me know about.
But boy, they on the track, Harry ball field, and them a run with each other, them a race. How much pitting love talk about? Let me race.
But coach, they're between.
We're going back to the Kranky. Then think they start a long time.
But coach, it's not. We're talking about a much more structured, formalized approach to doing track and field, which you're saying allow
so
us
US never did have that then. That's why I'm saying we're still ahead of you guys. If we never have it in 70, Uno never have it.
You mean Uno in the US? Well, I didn't know what the US have the track and field per se. I'm not really go track and field every year. I'm not go high school that the years, go high school at Jamaica. But me know I used to see at Jamaica.
Kranky.
Yeah.
That per capita argument is foolishness.
No, we agree. Here's what I think.
You agree with me now. Don't agree if you don't disagree. You agree with me now.
I agree that you're wrong.
No. Yeah. So who you agree with say
wait. I don't even agree with
disagree. Wrong.
Me agree say you're saying that per capita argument is foolishness, then per capita argument for anything is foolishness.
I wouldn't go as far as that.
What do you mean? You can't have it partial for one event, one sector.
I've strictly been saying for sports, and somebody bring up about murder per capita. I said that is a different argument.
Murder per capita is also per capita, but we're not equating it here. But yeah, murder per capita is also important in terms of
that is a
how
different
aggressive a
argument.
society or culture may be.
That is and that is an argument for we delve in at all of these facts. But I put it to you that Jamaica you cannot use it because US have 150,000 to choose from and Jamaica have 50,000 to choose from. Jamaica should not be doing better than US because of the numbers that they have to choose
it's
from.
not Jamaica against the US or any other country.
No, I use that as an example. That's how we Genesis our conversation start. The US have 150, but they wouldn't have been brought up through the rigors of track and field like the 50,000. All right, semi minus. 20,000 out of 50,000, 30,000. So that 30,000 is solid number to choose from. That's why when our numbers come up against your numbers, we can compete and beat your numbers because we would have been doing it over a period of time. Why you think US I get better and I put in stringent measures to ensure say with Jamaica not dominate everything. Then put in a relay camp. Them a do a lot of relays because they realize that Jamaica have been doing relays from a tender age. Them a do it. So here we are do the work, we are do the groundwork because we want to dominate every single thing where we compete in versus Jamaica. Jamaica is a team everybody wants to beat. Why? Because we have been dominating. So this per capita thing is foolishness because your 50,000 cannot outdo my 10,000 because my 10,000 have been doing this long time.
So here's the thing. If you think about most... No, it's not. Argument done. I must sign off by saying this, people. If you look at a lot of sports, right? Think football, for example. How many small countries dominate in football?
Say that again.
How many small countries dominate in football?
Spain.
No, they have what, 40-something million people?
How many?
They're not small.
How many small countries dominate in track and field? Ask the question the first now before you jump again. Because if you ask that about football.
But it's coming back to track and field. No, the point is about track and field. It's about track and field.
So how many small countries are dominate track and field?
None.
Only
except Jamaica.
Exactly.
But wait.
Because our development is different from theirs.
No. Here's the point I want to make, people. So if you think about sports, there are few countries who overachieve to mean sports in certain sports. Jamaica in track and field, Dominican Republic in baseball, right? You look at how much people they are playing in the major leagues here.
Why you think they why you think them overachieve?
No. Serbian basketball. Let me finish the course. Serbian basketball. I'm just going through the list of countries given their size and the rest of the world is they overachieve. Part of it is what they concentrate on these sports, right? Part of it is coaching. There are a lot of different factors, but there are certain countries to me who overachieve. Somebody say Croatia, but Croatia doesn't dominate, but yeah, they do really well.
Of course,
but they don't dominate. They don't dominate anything. They don't dominate.
What you call dominate? Winning competition and titles.
Jamaica win 100 meters from 2008.
Okay.
Croatia hasn't won anything. They've played well. They've gone to semi-final, but they haven't dominated. Jamaica dominate the sprints, dominate 100, dominate both men and women. We're not talking about just one and out. Men and women. 2008, 2012, 2016, 2021. Not for the men, but at least for the women. That's unprecedented. That not happen. There's cycles these things go into. Cycles. And we haven't seen that. That's why people say Jamaica overachieve. And that's why all the articles I've read said that. And I agree with them. Even though I've been saying that before they said it. But anyway, coach. So coach, before you go, is this an aberration or will we see more of this going forward for Jamaica? Because you said not overachieve. So will we struggle on the track going forward or you think we're going to come back in the next World Championship?
All right. One thing I can tell you about sports as well is that Kranky. Somebody said I leave me wrong, my son, right? so look, I come here the new debate, boss. You know? If me I don't Kranky right. That's
who said that?
Baggio. But Kranky, you see with sports, and this is something that I've studied. And I believe that sports, along with life, or things in life, have a cycle. Seeing? And if you don't put things in place to have sustenance, that dominance will come, it will go, and it will take a long time to return. You understand? So the fact is that of course, we can return, but there are some fundamental things that we have to do. One of them, I believe, is our injury management. We need some centers in Jamaica that can assist athletes in recovering, in managing injuries, in training mechanically rather than the old way. So of course, I do believe we can rebound, but some things will have to put into place.
So, Bedford, let me just say this, which is, and that's what we're seeing now. I don't think Jamaica ever really spend effort, time, resources on field events like we should, or in distances past the 400 meters like we should. And you will not get return on your investment unless you invest in something. And if Jamaica spend more time on 800, is my belief. We see Gould doing it, Natalia Gould, and they spend more time in the field events, like we're seeing more in high field. I jump with Bedford, for example, or we're seeing now in discus, or we're seeing in shot put, or we've been doing this in the triple and long jump. We will get more. Look at my medal we got in field events. How much field events we do that much in Jamaica?
Kranky, that is another story, you know, because those dominants come from persons who actually assist us. These athletes have some talent, and they were sent overseas.
Yeah.
So if you notice,
nobody coaching, for example, yeah,
right. So in terms of that would be assistant coaching in terms of other discipline, because when you look at 800 on the island, the kids don't want to do it as well because they want to be in the mega events, which is the Blue Ribbon event. So and that is because of the culture that has been in Jamaica. Usain Bolt did do 400 and him leave it and go 100 go dominate. Sherika did do 400 and she leave it and gone. So people, and with Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, with Ilian Thompson, so that culture of always wanting to do those shorter sprints is kind of embedded in us.
So let me say this, people. So here's where Kranky.
Those are also coached Rajendra Campbell. So two persons them coach from Jamaica.
So here's
and
me
dropping the US people them coach with jumpers with Smith, Beckford, and the other jumper there, Ebert and Smith. So a lot of assistants we get outside of the island.
So here's people. That's how you drop the mic, people. And means you want to agree with this. But here's how you drop the mic. We had 4 medals from field events, people. And we just start focused on field events. That's overachieving in field events. Big time. 4 medals in field events, that's overachieving. You know why we start achieving field events? Because we start concentrating on field events. I don't think we did in pole vault on a regular level. We don't invest in a pole vault so we can't compete in those events. You look at the field events, discus. How much people in the discus? We have 3 in the finals for the men, for the men, right? Right? For the discus. We just start concentrating on discus. We start investing in discus in people overseas. What we're doing, we're overachieving compared to all the other countries been doing discus, especially European countries, for year after year after year, and we get all these medals in the field events. Yes, we used to do long jump because it's almost like sprinting and triple jump. But look in discus, look in shot put, we start concentrating. We overachieve in field events, given our resources, given how much time we've been doing it, and given how long the rest of everybody been doing it. I think that's a drop the mic event, actually. I feel good.
You can't say we're overachieving that. But not grow on that one there.
But if we concentrate more, we probably even get more medals. If we spend more time doing this and invest more, we probably get more medals. If
and
we were to do
years,
pole
investment have been put in the throws and the jumps, you know, because most of these athletes have been developed by local coaches,
right?
And some of them want to go overseas for higher education. Them get a scholarship and them run with it. Two of the jumpers, one medaled and one one of the throws that went into the finals. Both of them are coached locally, and there's a good thing going on with throws in Jamaica. So I mean, it's just the talent, not really, or the people not really want to, you know, involve in the thing because them just see the other events as the money event.
Right, but how does one explain us doing so well in field events, given the rest of the world have been doing field events longer than we have, at a higher level than we have for years?
Because, as Mr. Kranky, some of these people who have been doing well in the field events have been with the top level coaches and institutions. They go there.
So the other countries.
Huh?
So the other countries have been doing
that
for
talent
years.
Too.
Exactly. That's the point. It's about the talent. A small country has so much concentrated talent in athleticism. Overachieving. Anyway.
And the CM winner, you know, they want him for the NFL, you know, so him have a decision to make. That's so.
Oh yeah, he plays football.
Them just see him and want him. Him go for one trial and him do well.
So he must play on the line then. Either offensive line or defensive line. One of the two.
So
I bet he's probably offensive line blocking. He's strong. Strong as an ox.
yeah, man.
If you throw something 70 meters, you throw everything 70 meters, you're strong as an ox. Any last words, Coach? Because we're at the time, you know.
No, man, big up the people. CC just a forward in and I ask one bag of question. But CC is sure done, you know. Big up yourself, man. Like the video, people. Subscribe to the channel. You understand? And just go and share the word. Say, Kranky live. Kranky live. Kranky live. I see mash up.
I'm going to play it before I go. But no, Ricardo, I say I should stop. Yeah. Jason has a tough time. Oh, by the way, Jason, when I write my words, I can do it to any beat. Let me just say that, Jason. Any beat. You can bring the beat and give me Jason. You know, Jason, bring a beat and give me the show, and I can adapt my words to the beat. Cause you say no, you never adapt your words. You give me a beat, Jason, live, and me just take a few, and me do my words to the beat, Jason.
No, Jason he went to a one of those NFL
camp.
Man. Yeah.
They have camps.
The Arkansas. From the Arkansas open day, them see man and tell him to come for trial, you know. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Juras, I say it was Green Bay Packers. Yeah, man. You know, same guy, one of them big.
So they want him to come and perform?
We're not sure where I go on. I think he's on the cusp of probably making a decision. And with NFL, you probably can play both of them, you know.
You probably could do, but it's very difficult, right? Because summer is track and field, but then you do have to go training camps in their pre-camp and then regular camp. In discus career, probably get on the work, because if you make it on an NFL team, and if you're offensive and defensive line, enough money that much more than track and field. So Anthony Roberts, and you saying you're still about your new coach is a Facebook. What's it? Because I hear him getting beaten. I hear McLaren getting beaten up, Vincey. McLaren,
yeah, man. Sitting there beat McLaren,
433.
50-50. Yeah, man. 433.
Him get fired 8 times.
The man not to kick a ball yet. 50-50. Go easy, man. Go easy. 433. Hey, you see, when me say 433 should have just easy and wait. You see the first 4 games them, and him could have talked about all of that after, you know.
Yeah, I think he's been a little bit harsh. A lot harsh.
He might run against the tide right now, because when things need to go, the way when to beat him, he might have basically a do-over stream with the same type of argument.
You mean if he not perform?
If he not perform, yeah. So
here's my view on McLaren, which I think is important. To me, it's about the recruiting. As he said, it's about the players. It's about the recruiting. Can he go out and get players who can fit his system and an improvement of what we have today?
I think it's going to be tough.
Why?
This build-up player where we want to play and all of them something there. Will these players be able to do it? Let us see.
I think those players are going to be like...
Have the personnels, and he need midfielders.
I must tell McLaren to do what that Arteta did at Arsenal.
Clean house?
Yeah, clean house. Yeah, so Arsenal compete with Man City now. He came in and said, you know what? When I look at this team, we need help. You just clean over 4, you just clean house. You're not even sell someone else, get rid of them.
He said something interesting, though, you know, that he was in charge of some FIFA thing, and him the work with Jamaica, and he realized that Jamaica really have a talent. So that did really
coach. So coach, get into that trouble. First of all, the man said he was doing COVID. Maybe he had COVID when he was looking at it. Way most of the talent, coach. Way most of the talent when they're COVID. I'm doing remote. Him say it was remote enough. So where you're seeing the talent remotely?
Well, probably he never look on the inside of Jamaica, and probably look on the talents that were linked to Jamaica. But I don't.
Must be. Because we don't know how you see even doing things remotely, people. And him saying the work with Jamaica was remote. So he wasn't on the island. He didn't watch no game. Unless he's talking about the players he saw that play for Jamaica who come from England, for example, and maybe the local players who play in the team, the national team, but he had no chance to go on the island and assess the talent. He didn't. And him said, Simon tell him saying 14 people made them debut. What Simon didn't say was what's the quality of the people who made their debut. right? I mean, so because what we infer from what he's saying is that 14 people make their debut, so they must be quality to make their debut in this team. But he never said some of the games they made debut was against Guatemala, where no overseas players played, except local players and somewhere in the US. None of the English-born players, none of the Nicholson, none of the Blake, I don't think played. It was players who domiciled on the island or may have played USL who played. So the information he's getting, if you parse the information, you walk away saying, really?
And that's why I wait and see, because you see this. I think the greater thing is for him to qualify for the World Cup, get the team to qualify. I believe a lot of people are going to want to see that flair football. Will that happen?
No, he was asked, he's a modern coach. And what does that mean? I'm not sure what his answer made any sense, to be honest. But I like the interview. I like some of the things that he said about the fact that he's very focused on people.
Recruiting.
Well, recruiting was, but he said people, commitment, right? He talked about people, he talked about commitment, he talked about standards. So he's focused on the intangibles to me,
but Kranky,
which is important to form a team.
Tapa was given a hard time because he mentioned commitment, And now these people, Algrims talk about it, now this man talk about it, and nobody now talk say, yo, how am I talk about commitment? That's probably a different story still. The show done.
I think the show not done, very extended. I think commitment. I think commitment to him, he's been told certain things. I think commitment was focused on one player in a sense, partial in some respects, but he's been told that maybe some players sometimes decide not to come to some of the tournaments, and is that okay, frankly?
Well, for me, Kranky, I wish to God that we can qualify, get some good games in. I think the litmus test for him would be those Nation League games. We're certainly looking forward to him, getting his feet wet in the Nations League. See what he's about, what his philosophy is. One thing we're tired for Sido is people come here and be yes people for the federation. I think it's full time now. I'm not gonna use that term there. People grow some testicles and take the thing as it is in terms of being forward in your selection, in your own operation of the team, and don't let nobody come and tell you, oh, this and oh, that. If I know him, I go with 10 instead of 11 straight. You want some tough leaders in the thing. We can't take no wishy-washy thing. You see what I say? We can't take no spineless persons. Because me saying a Kranky before that coach are picking up, that you're going to have people who are going to start cussing up. And it was surprising to see 4-3-3 start already and no game, no play. I know every coach will come in that Jamaica team. People are going to curse.
They will, but if the football
thing.
If the football is attractive and we're winning, they'll shut up. And here's the example.
Kranky, I don't agree.
No. Coach's example.
Man still a go talk. You know why man still a go talk? If a team a win, them a go look on how the team a play.
Right.
If the team now win, them a go look on the coach and how the team a play. Kranky, a long time.
But coach, that's why I said coach. But coach, here's the thing. Is the analogy. Track and field for Jamaica. That's the analogy. What do I mean by that? So now people are hitting on the JOA. No. Now people are hitting about the JOA and J3A. But you couldn't hit that before because we were dominating. We're going to hit that with, right? But they may have the same problems they have now, They just weren't manifesting themselves because you know what? Winning camouflage everything. So if he's winning and playing attractive football, you can't, what you say? You're sound stupid trying to critique a coach who's playing attractive football and winning. That's not going to happen. Especially if he's winning well, because he's not only winning, because we won our last 2 World Cup qualifiers and I wasn't impressed. You can't be Dominic. You can't be Dominic. You can't be Dominic.
If we are win, the people and like yourself, Kranky, are going to talk about how the ball game are played.
Right. So let me say something about Yadi here. Yadi, the man talked about not just qualifying when I hear him talk. right? He's talking about advancing. He think that if we get the players that he sees that's being provided to him, because he's got that binder that's passed around, I guess, from coach to coach about people with Jamaican heritage. He believes we can get some of those players. We can go do damage in the World Cup. That's what I'm hearing from him, not just qualifying. The qualifying is the minimum standard, which is that's what JFF is saying. You have to qualify us. We have to qualify. US is not there. Canada not there. Mexico is not there. You have to qualify us. That's what we want. But I think they're thinking if we get other players that we can pursue, given the heritage that they have, who may be available, and they come to us, we can go in and do damage. And that's what I'm inferring what he's saying from what I hear he's spoken. So he's not just making it.
Anyway, it's Kranky, man. We're running now.
Yeah. We're going to run. All right, Coach. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for joining me. And by the way, the mic sound good. Real good.
Who's mic?
Your one sound good.
Your one sound good too. I see a mic.
See a mic, yeah. It's the Shure 3 whatever it is.
Man, I big bad Shure. And where I use a Shure headset too.
Shure headset. No, I don't have the Shure headset.
So everything is Shure around here, and it's not. I am sure.
No, it's ATH M50X we're using headset. Better headset than a Shure. And
no,
then
well.
we understand. We have the I saw this stand. It's called the IX Tech stand. I saw it on one of the channel that had about 3 million followers. I figured they have money, so I buy the same stand.
Which one? The one that just put on a desk and something there?
Yeah.
Oh, me have one of that too, you know.
I noticed. I know you showed yesterday when you were showing.
I switch in between.
So I had a flat one, the one you had here, and I just change it actually. So no, it's good. It's good.
But me have an next setup to, you know, Kranky, where me I try I play with, you know. Me have a switching between cameras, I know.
I noticed that. And I also noticed that different thing you're switching, you change from the zoom.
No, man. The zoom still at work. I zoom, I carry the sound.
So what's the other thing does? It's the one that does the switching?
It is the switching, yeah.
You turn to face the camera. I mean, so you have to do sideways. You have to turn to face the camera.
Yeah, man. See, me just turn to the camera, or me just turn back to that camera. Yeah, man.
Okay. I'm not there yet.
We are trying to uplift the thing, you know, make it thing look, like a real podcast.
All right, Coach. But I appreciate you being here, Coach.
Yeah,
I'm not doing a balance view tonight, people. I'm tired. Not doing a balance view tonight. But I will do balance view tomorrow. I have some juicy stuff to talk about. Giving the Kamala, Kamala and Trump me for balance view for the next month because there's so much information out there. It's amazing, and it gets juicy and juicy every day. And tomorrow I'm back here. I'm probably gonna do McLaren tomorrow. You know? I don't think I'm gonna do the track and field tomorrow because McLaren bring people. So bring the thing or bring the views. We'll do some McLaren tomorrow. We'll do some EPL.
What time y'all come on tomorrow?
6 o'clock.
Me have a show 7, you know.
So me do 6 or 7 and you come join you. You can come join me.
Yeah, man. Me have something there. Me have Bruce James that can come on the show tomorrow.
Who's Bruce James?
About MVP man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. So
what's he gonna do? Whine about? Sorry. He's gonna talk about
No, man. You see that stream there? Me not say nothing. You have to just come on and come here while go on. You have to come on, come here while go on. Because that stream there are gonna be very informative, intriguing, and interesting. And I'm going to learn, like track and field people, I'm going to learn some of the things and the questions that they might ask over the years.
You're just going to say, asking to see.
Yeah, man, that's a part of the questions that we're asking, man. Yeah, man.
But I think it'd be good if we have someone on who's in the inner circle to give us some information about, especially about why we did how we did. And are there going to be any changes going forward?
But
at least in their camp.
Anybody I talk about, if me give my review, you will give a review. Our opinion, you know.
Yeah. But the question is, from an MVP standpoint, why do you think we performed the way we did? And why didn't MVP do better? Right? MVP had what? But they had 2 medals?
One
medal? Big MVP?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll see. All right, Coach.
Yeah,
bless up, people. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna play Kranky live out and people, I want to watch this because I play a little bit of football. Watch the pass I made. Just look at that pass. I keep saying this, people. The left foot pass between 2 defenders that the person fumbled. Just watch Kranky live.
But Kranky, before you move to that, I really want you to send Tiga the message, you know. About that video they make, you know.
You mean the fact that the video may not have been accurate?
Yeah.
Yeah. I probably do that. I'll text
Yeah,
him.
man.
I'll text him.
All right, little more.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself all the time.
Right. Everyone, thank you for being here to another Kranky Live. We're back tomorrow, 6 p.m. As I said, I probably will do some McLaren discussion and some EPL discussion. We're done with the track and field. That's Minzy's forte. I just dabble in it. And any other topic that you may want to talk about tomorrow. And we'll take calls tomorrow too. So hope you have a wonderful evening. Thanks for being here. I'm going to play Kranky Live going out because I haven't played in a while. All right, people? Kranky Live is the best to be now. For the best sports talk and it's free, yo. Kranky Live will be your guiding light by keeping you informed both day and night. Kranky Live, tell them. Kranky Live, heed them. Kranky Live, want them. Kranky Live. From the coast to the field, we'll never lose because Kranky has the hottest news. With expert analysis, we break it down. Our in-depth coverage is best in town. Kranky Live, tell them. Kranky Live, heed them. Kranky Live, want them. Kranky Live. Kranky Live, where the sports is spicy and where we keep the discussion lively. Kranky Live, get to know the name because Kranky analysis is never lame. Kranky Live, give me my Kranky Live. I want my Kranky Live. Must have my Kranky Live. Whether it's football or track and field, you know Kranky is at the wheel. So join the journey through victory and defeat and subscribe and don't miss a beat of Kranky Live. Tell them, Kranky Live. Heed them, Kranky Live. Want them, Kranky Live. If you're from England or USA, from Kingston or Bombay, from Kenya or Canada, Lagos or Havana, visit Kranky Live. Tune into Kranky Live. Like up Kranky Live. Subscribe to Kranky Live. Kranky Live coming to you on weekdays. Kranky Live sometimes on Sundays. Pull up a chair and take a seat because Kranky will always bring the heat. Kranky Live. Me say fi tell them Kranky Live. Me say fi heed them Kranky Live. On them Kranky Live. Kranky Live will be around. Kranky Live is the best in town. Me say fi heed them. Me say fi want them. Me say fi heed them. Want them, heed them, want them. Kranky Live. Kranky Live. Heed them. Want them. Heed them. Want them. Kranky Live. Kranky Live. Heed them. Want them. Heed them. Want them. Heed them. Want them. Kranky Live. Kranky Live. Kranky. Heed them. Want them. Heed them. Want them. Heed. Want. Heed. Want. Heed them.